So hi, everyone. My name is Jenny Diaz, and I am the Welcoming Communities Coordinator for Welcoming America. I am based in Wichita, Kansas, and my colleague Anthony Salas, who is running tech for us, is the Senior Membership and Events Manager. He is based in Decatur, Georgia, and you will be hearing from him in the second half of this presentation. Next slide. Today we'll be talking about Welcoming America, what we offer, what's ahead for 2022. We'll also walk you through next steps to join if you are a new member or renew your membership if you are an existing member. We'll also have time for questions at the end. If you have questions during the presentation, feel free to put them into the chat. Anthony or I will scroll up to the top once we get to the questions. And just as a reminder, this is an information session. So if you're an existing member, if you are a potential new member and wanting to learn more, you are in the right place.
Awesome. And before we get started, we'll want to get you to take a quick poll so we can get a sense as to who is in the audience here today. So on your screen, you should see a poll question here asking who's in the audience. So are you a potential new member that is looking to hopefully join the network and looking to learn some new information today? Or are you a current member that is looking to get some information about renewal for 2022? So we're going to give it just a couple of quick seconds here.
Thanks. And as you keep voting, I just wanted to remind you all that you can introduce yourself via the chat. I see a lot of people there, some from Canada, Florida, from South Africa. Thanks, everyone.
Super exciting. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll and go ahead and share that it's pretty close to 50-50. But it looks like a little bit more are some potential new members. So hopefully we'll be sharing information that you'll find helpful here today. So with that, Jenny, back to you.
Thank you. So great. I just wanted to cover a little bit about Welcoming America. We are a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that leads a movement to ensure that cities are more welcoming and inclusive. We believe that all people, including immigrants, are valued contributors and are extremely vital to the success of communities and our future. We work with all organizations who work with immigrants and refugees, but aren't, it's not just specifically them either. We believe that if we help communities with all of their different groups, that we really just create an inclusive city or environment for everyone. We also work to change systems and culture by providing the communities the roadmap and assistance they need to create some welcoming policies and to feel like there is some positive change going on as well. Next slide. The network, which is why you are here today, offers tools and resources. We offer technical assistance and a global peer network to help nonprofits and government organizations really transform communities into more welcoming and inclusive places. By participating, you will be connected with other peers so that you all can share your ideas and highlights and really receive recognition for the efforts that you are all doing. You can apply at the website that is listed on your screen, but we will also be sharing any link, any document, and this PowerPoint by the end of the week so that you have all of the information in one place as well. Next slide. So currently the network encompasses cities as diverse as Anchorage, Alaska, St. Louis, Missouri, Winona, Minnesota, Dallas, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, where we are headquartered. But also we span across 8 countries. We have over 120 local governments and over 140 nonprofit organizations. Our growing international efforts provide an opportunity to exchange best practices between global and inclusive cities. And really all the work that we do here, we just think it's connected across the United States and internationally as well, which is why you'll see in the chat so many people international as well. So next slide. On your screen, you can see some of our colleagues. So Anthony and I are just two people of our small but mighty Welcoming America team. Our colleagues make up provide technical assistance. Um, they also provide new communities into networks, and they help plan and coordinate member peer learning opportunities. Member peer learning opportunities can mean they get together a certain cohort to discuss an issue, webinars as well, maybe some talking points or resources. Together, our team has experience in a lot of different areas, but mostly I just wanted to highlight that we have experience in public and private sectors related to immigrant inclusion, community and economic development, racial justice work, inclusive, diversity, equity work, policy and advocacy, events management, program design, and so much more. Slide. Here are a few benefits kind of broken down into a few larger groups. So when members are launching new programs or troubleshooting a local issue, Welcoming America staff and partners can be resources to strategize with you. We offer expert coaching and strategy sessions, and those sessions are tailored specific to your needs, specific to a question you have, a project you're working on, an issue that has risen in your community. And all of this is that you let us know that you'd like to talk to someone. We schedule that appointment with you, and then we just work with you to figure out what it is that you need. The calls often result in next steps, such as a direction towards relevant research. We may connect you to one of our national partners. We may connect you to another peer in the network that has gone through the same thing you are, and we hope that you connect and chat and figure out what the next step is for you all. But also, we can just help you gather some resources, work on talking points, set up a presentation as well. You also have access to member-only webinars that are by application on topics specific to bridge building strategies, welcoming economies effort, community planning, or immigrant inclusion. A lot of our members are new to this work. Some of them have been here for a while. So really the webinars and these coaching strategy sessions are tailored for where you are in this journey. We also offer some access to scholarships. So as a member, you'll have access to any scholarship that we provide first. Scholarships can be a discount or a set of money that goes towards your membership dues, or it can also be discounts to any Welcoming America conference that we may be hosting. Slide. And for Welcoming America, we have 3 different membership options, and they're just 3 levels. It's core, it's general, core, and premium. All 3 levels are for local governments and local nonprofits, including service providers, chambers of commerce, economic development agencies, and others. We don't work with any, we don't have any members that are national levels, but say you are a part of the YMCA. We do not work with a national YMCA organization, but we do work with the local YMCA. So like the YMCA of Milwaukee, for example. The general level has a sliding scale based on your nonprofit's organizational budget, or if you're a local government, the sliding scale is based on your departmental budget. For core and premium, you can see that we have a set amount of dues there. And the renewal process and the application process is now open. It opened on October 4th, but the invoices will not go out until January 2022, and then the dues are due at the end of February 2022. This benefits guide and all of the information that I just shared, I know is a lot, so you can go onto our website to read it on your own, or we will also share it at the end of presentation. And I know that everything that I just said sounds like a lot of fun, but you do have some commitments as well, which also are fun. And they're really easy to follow. And our whole team works with you to make sure that if you have any questions, we'll be able to assist you. We ask that you follow just some general membership principles. If you are a core or a premium government member, we ask you to pass a welcoming resolution. If you've never passed one, that is a great coaching call example. Our team will walk you through on how to do it. We ask that you assign at least one main point of contact and a dedicated staff person to welcoming work. Your organization can reach out to us. So if you have 10 people in your organization, all 10 people can reach out to us. We just ask that one person is there to answer our questions. For example, if we want to give you a scholarship, or if there's a grant opportunity, or if we have a question about who we should be billing. As long as one person responds to our emails, we are totally okay. We ask that you pay your dues. Like I said, they're due at the end of February. And with that, the last one I want to highlight is that we ask you to host a Welcoming Week event. And my colleague, Anthony, will be walking you through Welcoming Week and everything else 2022 has to offer.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jenny. And yes, we're going to do a little bit of looking ahead and reflecting at the same time, but just want to bring you aware of some of the opportunities that are in place now and that are coming up for 2022. As Jenny shared, a lot of these programs that she mentioned are going to be continuing into the new year, along with several new programs that will be announced once the year does get underway. In addition, a lot of the current members, you're going to see new versions of workshops, coaching sessions, communities of practice, various things of that sort that you've seen in the past, many of which have been kind of on hold because of the pandemic. But with things hopefully starting to improve in terms of the pandemic and the results of that, we're hoping very strongly that 2022 will be able to start returning to more of our in-person events. And these are some things like our community visits, which a lot of our members really get a lot of value from, a lot of camaraderie that comes from being able to be together with members in their respective communities. And then two big events, two of our flagships, if you will, that we are very excited to pivot back to in person. And I want to share a little bit about each of those now. The first being our Welcoming Interactive. In 2022, we are going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, May 18th through the 20th. We were scheduled to be there in 2020. We went virtual in 2021 earlier this year. Now we're shooting for in-person next year. And so our friends in Charlotte, who are the host city, have been really patient and working with us to make sure that they continue as the host for the interactive. They're very excited to show off the Queen City to everyone that will be able to join us during that time. So we're really excited to have that back on our schedule. If you've not attended the interactive or are unfamiliar with it, this is basically the equivalent to our annual conference, and it brings together members of the network, as well as partners and others from around the country to learn and discuss immigrant inclusion, economic development, civic engagement, many more topics related to all of this. Over the next several months, we'll be sharing more information about the interactive, all the registration, all the details that you'll be looking for. We will also have specific scholarship opportunities for the interactive. So we'll definitely be communicating those out very specifically to you. So you'll be able to see what is available to you as a member. So again, look for more information on that coming in the next few months. The next big kind of flagship for us, and again, even if you're not a member, you may already be aware of this, but that is Welcoming Week for us. And again, in 2022, it's going to be a big year because it'll be our 10th anniversary of Welcoming Week. And it'll take place September the 9th through the 18th. For those of you that aren't familiar or are not currently members, Welcoming Week, as Jenny mentioned when she was going over the commitments to membership, it is one of those commitments. We do ask that all of our network members commit to holding at least one event during that week. And the host events are all over the country. They're all over the globe. We have events happening everywhere. Even with the pandemic over the last couple of years, we've seen this continue to happen. This year, earlier in September, we saw nearly 400 events that were registered via our website of Welcoming Week events that happened during that time. We saw city proclamations made proclaiming Welcoming Week as part of that city's activities. We had a really really active social media campaign and presence that went on during the week. So it was a really successful week this year. Again, if you're not familiar with it, really Welcoming Week is a time when organizations and communities come together. They bring neighbors together, and it's really about building strong connections and affirming the importance of welcoming and inclusivity. It's one of the most, I think, inspiring and exciting times of the year. I think any of our current members can attest to that. They get very excited about Welcoming Week. And I look forward to hopefully many of you joining us in 2022. So as I mentioned, it's going to be our 10th anniversary of Welcoming Week. So we're anticipating it being very special. As a member of the network, you will receive several exclusive announcements. You'll also get access to a lot of the resources that we'll make available to you. And we'll also be looking to our network to help us come together in some really special ways to celebrate the 10th anniversary. So again, stay tuned for a lot more about that. All right, so what we're going to do now is talk a little bit about the next steps. So hopefully this is kind of building a little bit of excitement for you, whether, again, you're considering joining as a brand new member or you're looking to continue your membership as we move into 2022. Before we get into kind of the next steps for those, I want to share something that is probably geared a little bit more towards those of you that are potential new members. But before the webinar, we put out a question to our current members, and I want to share some of the responses that we received. And the question that we posed was, how has membership in the Welcoming Network benefited you, your organization, or your community? And so I won't spend too much time on each of these particular slides, but I do have just a few here that I'm going to share on the screen so you can kind of read them. Again, as Jenny said, this is all being recorded. You can come back and revisit these later. But these are just some really great examples of responses that our current members were kind enough to provide to that specific question, and really sharing what the network has meant to them in their communities. So again, this may be an inspiration for those of you considering membership to join or ask more questions. We are here to help you in any way we can to help you become a member of the network. So that being said, what are those next steps? So again, two different kind of paths, if you will, that will take you down. One specific to those of you that are considering a brand new membership. You are not yet a member of the network, but you are considering going forward with this. So a few things for you to do here. First is go to our website, welcomingamerica.org. From that main page, you're going to want to click on the Welcoming Network tab. And there you're going to be able to review a lot of the information that Jenny shared with you earlier today. And you can also click on the application to become a member. Once you do that, we'll contact you, and then first step will be to have you attend one of our onboarding webinars that Jenny hosts on a weekly basis. You'll have some options to select from, so it'll fit best with your schedule. As Jenny mentioned too, we do have scholarship opportunities, and so even as a new member of the network, you can apply for one of those scholarships. So if you would like to do so, we're going to enter the link here in just a moment into the chat area. But as Jenny mentioned too earlier, the scholarship deadline is October the 29th. So If you want to apply for that, make sure you complete that scholarship before October the 29th there. If you are a member of a rural community, a community that is less than 50,000 in overall population, and or if you know any communities that might be interested in this, we also have separately a rural welcoming initiative that offers opportunity for smaller communities. Same deadline as the core premium scholarship, so October 29th. So again, if you want to, you're going to see that coming into the chat here in a moment as well. That is the link where you can either apply or share that with anyone that might be interested in the Rural Welcoming Initiative. Once you go through all of that, you'll have a commitment form that you will need to sign off on, committing to all of your membership items, and of course, pay the dues. So by then, if you are provided with any kind of a scholarship or discount, it will be applied to your 2022 dues. Again, those will be sent out at the beginning of January. You'll get all of that information on your invoice, where you'll be able to either pay electronically or you can mail a check, and all of that will be provided in the email and invoice that you'll receive there. As Jenny said too, this is a lot of information we're throwing at you in a short amount of time. So if anyone has any questions, especially those of you that are considering a new membership, there's a lot to go through. So we are happy to have some discussions with you after today's webinar. Again, too, if you've got questions, you're free to enter them in the chat. We're going to do our best to answer any questions that come in there. All right, so for those of you that are joining us today that are current members, just a few things to point out for you. So if you are a current member, I think the first thing we want to give you the opportunity to do is make sure that your contact information is correct. So if you have a new primary contact, primary person that should receive any correspondence related to your membership, if that needs to be updated, or if you have a new billing contact that needs to be updated, so that would be the person that would receive your invoice. Again, you just saw a link entered into the chat to update your contact information. That is what you're going to use to do that. So again, we encourage you to make sure that your contact information is updated prior to the next cycle of invoicing. We also encourage you to, if you can, reach out to your regional point of contact, whoever your regional manager is. If you have any specific questions about your membership or programs that are currently being offered, or just want to kind of get a little bit more of a deep dive into what's coming up for 2022, they can kind of help you out there. So definitely reach out to them. As mentioned, to our new members as well, if you're interested in that core or premium scholarship, you're going to want to get that done by October 29th, and you should have seen the link that was entered just a moment ago into the chat. We'll be sending out a couple of other reminders on this too, but again, October 29th is the cutoff there. And then on the screen, you see too, just some mentions of some timelines. For those of you, again, as current members, our first notice on the scholarship cycle went out on October the 4th. And again, the deadline, October 29th. Invoices will go out January 4th, 2022, and must be paid by February 25th, 2022. So again, a lot coming at you here, but hopefully this will kind of help you as you start planning for renewal. All right. Now it's your turn. We will open it up now and see if anyone has any questions. Again, apologies. This is a lot of information coming at you here, so thank you for your patience there. I'm going to take a quick look here and see what we've got in terms of questions. All right. One question we have is regarding technical assistance programs. So Jenny, I don't know if you want to maybe take this and talk a little bit more about that. I know you touched on it briefly earlier, but specifically the question, what does a technical assistance program involve?
Yeah, absolutely. So our technical assistance programs are tailored to different topics, and they are competitive through application. They target opportunities to help members identify goals and achieve local policy and program, and also practice implementation. For example, something that we have going on this year is the Welcoming Economies program. We are working with several different organizations across the country, one of them being in the city of Cincinnati. So the city of Cincinnati, a group of people from the city of Cincinnati came to us and said, we are trying to start a program for immigrant and refugee entrepreneurs. It is a gap in the city. There's not really a bunch of information or help for that. How can you assist us with that? So we have partnered with Global Detroit, which is another national organization, and with the city of Cincinnati, along with our nonprofits, city members, and other community organizations. We meet with them every month to talk about, first of all, what were the gaps? Why did they want to do an entrepreneurship program? And then every meeting, we just help them with some tools, some research. We share some resources, and we make sure that they are taking the next steps and necessary meetings to get the entrepreneurship program together. So we help them find funding. We help them find where should you go? Where should it live? Should it live in the city? Should it live within an organization that already does this? So that's one example of a technical assistance program that we offer. And I also wanted to mention that anytime we have a technical assistance program that opens up, we'll announce it. The application process will be shared with everyone. And then we'll, each technical assistance breakdown and requirements kind of go based, depending on which one is going to focus on. And then I think I saw a chat that just entered. So I think I lost it. So let me look through. I saw a question from Lori, I believe. So let me scroll up here. Or if Anthony, if you have it.
Yeah, let me go ahead and I'm just going to read this here. So question that came in terms of the Gateways for Growth program. Question being, will we need to be members when the Gateway for Growth grant opportunity opens up?
Yes. So all of our grant opportunities, you will need to be members before you are taken into account for that grant. You can apply for the grant and for your membership at the same time. So you can go through the process at the same time. You just need to let us know that that's what's going to happen. And then we will, if we accept you as a member, then we will go ahead and take your application into consideration. You're welcome. We also have a question about, do we have any churches that have joined the network as members? Yes, we actually have, I don't know if it's the church, the congregation itself, but we do have a lot of organizations that do with faith-based organizations or church network organizations. So if you'd like to learn more about that, I can send you, Cindy, I can send you a list of the organizations that faith-based organizations that we have accepted as members, and you can see if our membership works for you.
I also, in addition to that, I just put in the chat a link to a specific page on our website that also has a map that is somewhat interactive. You can kind of zoom in and out of it. But you'll see all of the members across the country and some of our international members as well. But then you can also scroll down further on the page. All of our members are listed there. You can look at them. If you can look over any that are nonprofits, you can look over any that are local governments, You can also look at any that are either certified welcoming or are going through the process of becoming a certified community. So definitely visit that page, and that might answer some of those questions as well.
Thanks. And then I see also a question from Jeffrey, who asked, who applies for the Rural Welcoming Initiative? The Rural Welcoming Initiative is a organization that serves less than 50,000, or a city or a government organization that serves less than 50,000. There is some more information about the Rural Welcoming Initiative that I can go ahead and send out via the chat as well. That kind of breaks down a little bit more. So, there we go. And then we also had a question about if we can switch from one membership level to another. Yes, the answer is absolutely yes. Members can customize their membership to their current needs, which is why we suggest looking to that benefit guide we shared, and also reading through the website. Like Anthony mentioned as well, we have no problem hopping on a call with you to talk a little bit more about maybe what's going on in your organization or your government organization or nonprofit, and we can discuss what level fits for you.
And I just advanced us to this screen with our contact email address. Doesn't mean you can't still enter your questions, but I wanted to get this up on the screen, so if anyone wants to take note, best way to reach us is sending an email to membership@welcomingamerica.org, and we will get back with you or find the person that can best respond and get you an answer to your question.
And I think I have one last question about fiscal calendars. What if my fiscal calendar does not align with your dues or invoicing schedule? So we understand fiscal calendars and internal budgets may impact when your dues are paid. For example, if you are an existing member, you may have noticed that we have moved the invoices. So they used to go out at the end of this year, or at the end of the year. We have pushed it to the beginning of the new year. So we are just like you. We work around fiscal calendars. So we made that little switcheroo. We will work with members on a case-by-case basis to see if a different payment schedule is needed depending on fiscal calendars. Okay.
All right.
Well, I don't see any
Did we get
more. Yeah, I don't think I see any more questions. If we did miss one, please send us an email at membership@welcomingamerica.org. Like we said, we will send out all of this information and the webinar to the email that is registered on this presentation. If you signed up with a different email on the presentation and you would like it sent to, maybe another one, you can also send us that information via membership@welcomingamerica.org.
Excellent. And also just displaying quickly some of our other ways that you can follow us or see what's happening in the world of Welcoming America and Welcoming Network. These are some of our different social media channels. So hopefully you can, if you don't already do so, follow us and see what is happening out there. But yeah, thank you all so much for taking the time to join us here today. Jenny and I are really hopeful that we've provided you with some good base information and also just getting your questions answered. But as she said, if you have any questions after this, if you're like me, I always think afterwards, there's my question. You can still reach out to us, membership@welcomingamerica.org. We're really excited to have those of you that are existing members continue on the ride with us into 2022. And those of you that are new or potential new, we look forward to hearing from you and working with you and welcoming you into the network. So thank you again, everyone, for joining today, and have a great rest of the afternoon. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.